Hello, and welcome to Twenties Aplenty. In this week's episode of the Headhunter Chronicles, the group plan their next move after playing with fire in the Fist Barracks. If you enjoyed the session, please remember to like and subscribe, or leave a comment below, let us know what you think. And with that, we hope you enjoyed today's session.
We travel and roll, our intentions are good. Maybe. We fight, at times polite. It's DnD.
So when last we set off, the group were just beginning to flee the battle in the Barracks of the Fist. I think everybody bar Marcus was in the air. Lucy had been shrunk and was in Amanita's cold grasp. Varak was carrying Korsk, and Marcus had fly cast on him by Varak but hadn't set off yet. So Marcus got a couple of blows in and then up and away. Korsk was up onto the gate, up onto the battlements, got his green flame dagger out, wiped the first guard he came to out. I think Lucy blasted another one out of his path as well as him and Amanita went over. Marcus flew over and got one as well. And then Korsk started jumping down to the ground, but Varak came back, picked him up and flew off. And the group made their escape. At least their escape into the cup. They landed in an alleyway, discussed how they could hear a scurry of people running to put the fires out that the group had set in the Fist. Or the group and Amanita's dog, I would say. They decided that Lucy would take the form of Varak's mother. Varak would take the form of Karash, one of her right-hand men. And everybody else would either tag along or, in the case of Marcus and Korsk, would be hidden away. So I think Korsk was shrunk and put in Amanita's pocket, and Marcus was put to sleep and then bundled into Lucy's pants, but from the back end, he was covering him up with the cloak. By that point, a number of guards had gathered on the gate. After a bit of a confused conversation, the officer of the guards, the 10 guards that were on the gate, who had initially refused to let them through, Varak's mother, aka Lucy, managed to persuade them to let them through. There was one little conversation, though, at the end about asking Karash, or aka Varak, why he was in his old uniform. Why was he not in his sergeant's uniform? He was only in his lieutenant's uniform. Varak hastily thought of the excuse of he was living out his glory days in his private time. Guard let them go on their way, but got one of his minions over, whispered in his ear, and sent him off back towards barracks. At that point, the group bundled into another alleyway, decided that they wouldn't be able to use that same tactic twice. So decided that they would fly over the rest of the walls. Amanita put Lucy in her hat, having taken his bag of holding from him. Varak flew. I think Korsk was shrunk at that point, is that right? Or
yeah, I was hanging out on Amanita's shoulder.
Yeah, you were shrunk again. And the still sleeping Marcus ended up in the hat as well. The group landed in an alleyway in Portside, much to the shock of a old drunken dragonborn man whose whiskey had frozen. Korsk noticed that his water bottle is also frozen. It was at that point they noticed Amanita's appearance had changed as well. Amanita was quite dismissive, saying they'd talk about it later. And she'd had a ratch through Lucy's pants. Lucy'd had a ratch through her hat before they headed back through portside to get to the Dragon's Claws. At that point, they woke Marcus, told him he'd been cursed by the wizard that was in the barrack, and they all headed off to bed. Amanita went first, Lucy followed, because he was a little bit suspicious by her, or intrigued by her new appearance. He went and stood at her door listening. Meanwhile, after Varak went to bed, she sneaked out of her window and into Varak's room, shrunk down, and went into her mushroom form and went into his pocket. Of course, set an alarm at the edge of the corridor. Lo and behold, the alarm went off. Lucy woke with the sudden start, the sound of footsteps coming down the hallway. Of course, woke everybody else up. Lucy drew a dagger and stuck it in the small of the lady's back, not stabbing her, not penetrating flesh, but started asking her questions. A dark blue dragonborn that if Lucy had seen the front of her, he would have recognised as looking quite like Varak. She announced that she was Varak's sister. Varak invited her into his room. Lucy stood at the door listening again, forever nosy. The conversation was short. She'd made her excuses that she was just nipping into the Dragon's Claws to go to the loo, and then would nip back out. She slapped Varak across the face, then gave him a big hug, asked him what he was thinking, burning the barracks down, that he'd been asked to just take the ring, not to burn the place down. Varak showed her the ring. She announced that the group were having bounties set for them, especially a kobold and a human were the two that were definitely being recognised as standing out. The rest, not so much. Varak told her about some of what he'd learned, both from the head of Newstead, the group of Feishan and Amaeth, and about how General Razdar was not necessarily evil, but up to something. Seemed to be greedy. The war seemed to have been started to try and get hold of the other half of the axe. She looked at the ring and mentioned the Brotherhood of the Half Moon, and also how Varak's mother's new husband was quite deeply involved with them, and warned Varak to stay clear, or at least not get himself embroiled, because they were dangerous. Varak's new stepfather was quite influential of his mother. Some of the Brotherhood's objectives were being met by influencing her position on the council. At that, she made her excuses and left, but not before she gave Varak an envelope. Inside the envelope was a piece of paper with her mother's signature on, their mother's signature on. It was a sponsorship form dated a week before Varak was dismissed from the army. Sponsorship to promote him to lieutenant, from a squadron leader to lieutenant. He folded it up, put it into his pocket, much to Amanita's disruption, alongside the ring. Pulled his now defrosted bottle of whiskey out of his flask of whiskey out of his pocket, had a big gulp or two, looked at his hand, which had been shaking before, managed to steady a little, but still shaking. Put the flax back. And I believe the group were heading back to bed to finish their long rest. So, I'm assuming you finished your long rest. I would say it is probably, it's probably 5 o'clock in the morning. You went to bed. I would say by the time you got resettled, that's an extra hour. So, it's probably about 1, 2 in the afternoon that you arise. A bit dazed. I recall that Korsk wanted to sort his family affairs out with the Mercenaries Guild, or track his family down via the Mercenaries Guild. In the conversation with Varak's sister, she mentioned that the group would need help getting out of the city and into Axemouth. So, in that case, what would you like to do?
So I imagine we kind of we hold a party meeting, I guess, in one of the upstairs rooms, since the downstairs one will be full of people who might have been looking at the warrant board recently. I suppose Korsk gets everyone to come to his place. He's got all the blinds drawn, and there's a couple of chinks of light just illuminating the bedside table, which he's pushed into the center as a really poor kind of like executive board meeting table.
I think you'll probably find we last left Lucy off, like he was after Varak thingy visited. Lucy went back to standing outside Amanita's door. So he's probably still there.
His empty room. Cool. So we're in your room. I'm imagining it's like a crack of sunlight coming through over this table, and you can kind of see speckles of dust in the beam. It's coming down. You're all kind of sat around. And imagine one person is kind of squinting a little bit because they're at the wrong end of the table.
So, things have not been exactly going according to plan over the last few days.
Yeah.
However, we have to, well, I, at least, have to get some warning out to my family before we leave. We also need to figure out how exactly we're going to leave the city when the guards at every tower are going to be ordered to try and apprehend us if possible. So we've got 2 problems, essentially. Perhaps we could fix them through one solution. I suppose if Varak's friends are not able to assist us, or if cannot trust them for obvious reasons, he nods at Varak. Perhaps I could levy my family for a favour. They obviously have the ability to move in and out of the city with as little fuss as they please. Perhaps they'll know a few routes we could use.
That's if your family aren't being held semi-accountable for what happened last night.
And that's what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
But
I would imagine there will at least be a route of investigation.
I guess.
my stance on this is we don't gain anything from waiting. The longer we wait, the more the investigation will progress, and the less likely we'll be able to find out either what's happening to them or get them to help us. I need to know.
Right.
I need to know what's going on with the Dragonborn veterans, and I need to also know that my family are going to be safe once we've left. I can't have them put in danger on my account.
Alright.
Amanuta will poke out of Varric's pocket and go, that's understandable.
Thank you. I suppose the finding my family is the relatively easy part, though, since we know roughly what we need to do in that respect. It's getting out of the city that's the problem. I think we mentioned going by a boat last time.
I think so. I think we'd need to stow away on a boat or pad somewhere, but it's not going to be easy getting up into that if they're closing the port down. So we'll need to find a way to get there.
Yeah, so let me just pull up the world map just so you've got a little bit of an idea of geography. That's when I can actually find it.
It's like, if I remember correctly, Axmouth is the island to the northeast of where we are right now.
Yeah, far east though.
Okay.
If you give me a minute.
It's more just east, I guess. Just far east.
Yeah, east.
Yeah, so if you so the normal route, unless you were traveling kind of under military banners. If you're traveling under a military banner, for example, you'd be going out the south and across through the kind of this channel here by Little Talon, and that would take you straight to Blades Bay. Stop off in Blades Bay to pick up some supplies, and then round to Axmouth. If you were travelling via a commercial route, there's no direct link from Dragon's Claw.
It's like we land. It's like we'd land in Blades Bay and then have to cross the desert to get there covertly.
You would probably need to get to Blades Port.
Okay.
And then travel through the desert to Axmouth.
Is Blades Bay like another military station like Axmouth is?
A little bit. It's like a stopping off point, so it's like it's like an arms depot type of thing.
Yeah.
And there's barracks there for people that are either going one way or the other. It's like a stop off. It's got a lot of support functions for Axmouth. But it's meant the route between the two is generally served by boat to avoid having to travel through the desert. What would normally happen is you would probably you'd need to head back through the desert up north to Desert Mouth, and then there would be a boat that you could get, a commercial boat that you could get to Blades Port, which is more of a commercial port. But again, a lot of the stuff that go through there is kind of military type stuff, but more kind of from outside of Dragon's Claw as a country. So stuff coming in from the dwarves, for example, or stuff coming in from the human lands would land at Bladesport if it was there to support the military effort. There's also a little bit of farming around there as well, like fisheries and things.
So it seems like the only viable transportation is ship or airship. So the alternative would be to return overland through the Side Spy and over the mountainous regions to get to Sea's Forge, and then find passage from there, which is going to take us too long, probably.
Yeah.
Sea's Forge is Crag Dwarf territory.
With the ensuing political problems of having a Dragonborn travel with us.
Yes.
Ooh.
There was a talk of a disguise, though, wasn't there, when Miran offered us the job? She said that there was some sort of long-term disguise that could be applied to our Dragonborn companions.
Not sure how we would get hold of it now, though. I don't know, Varak, do you reckon your mother would still be amenable to working with us at this point?
I got no idea. To be honest, I was really hoping yesterday would go off without a sitch and nobody would die, but I guess I was being a little hopeful.
I mean,
I believe... Sorry, Chess.
go on. No, go.
I believe she gave us an address in the wall shed, did she not? Where somebody could help us.
I mean, that's true, I'm pretty sure, but that's not being funded by us. I was under the assumption that'd be funded by them, since we're doing that work, but...
Potentially.
If it's guys, I might know a few friends. They're a bit of pain to handle, but can summon them. They can polymorph to anything. You know, the way that I polymorph to. They can do it to you.
Yeah, that might be a good shout. But would you need to ask your friends to turn me back, or could you do that?
Oh, they can turn you back. They're just pixies, but pixies are handful.
In light of current group funds and potentially exposing ourselves even further to my country's government, I do believe that might be a better course of action. Perhaps Torsk, you might undergo something similar, or you can get treatment from Amanita and I'll go to Wall of Shade.
Unfortunately, it may have to be both, depending on the stability of the magic involved. Spell length.
You mean turning him into a horse or something?
Well, it depends on the type of animals that they can cast. These are pixies off.
As long as it's not a fly, I'll be happy.
I mean, I've seen them turn people into great apes that fly, so
That is terrifying.
probably not the best.
I think something inconspicuous would probably be best.
Agreed.
And maybe that would help the war effort. Give us a
Right.
reason for heading in that direction.
Yeah. Well, of course, as you're the most known out of our group as well as Marcus, I think I would recommend that you take the polymer.
Very well.
Just a temporary solution, and we'll get stuff for your family sorted as well.
Okay. Amanita, how long can your friends at a time conduct a polymorph?
Give me 2 seconds. I will. Pretty sure. Let me read my book. I need to. I did write it down to bring it up. You know how tangle with things.
Certainly, I made sure to prepare some backup options this morning as well. Pat's a satchel. What are we doing about Marcus, incidentally? Is he, shall we just ask him to stay in the Dragon's Claws? Stay low until we get back?
Well, that would be a good idea. It would keep him out of harm's way, but I do believe that if our group is known, we might be looked for, and this is probably the only place that we have stayed. But this is the only place we have stayed, and therefore, he might be an easy target.
I would say that if the group have got bounties on their heads and we suspect the members of your tribe have been hunting those with bounties on their heads, perhaps we might need Marcus's swordplay should things go wrong.
Yeah.
If things go wrong, I think we just need to make a quick exit as soon as possible. Incidentally, we have very distantly run into them before, so at the very least they know that me and Lucy have cooperated in the past, and they left us alone that time. I don't know that it would surprise me if the drive for money was so strong that they would consider murdering all of us, given my connection with you. But, as I'm saying, it shouldn't come to that. We just need to make ourselves clear when we arrive. Make it clear that we're all on the same side.
Right.
Okay, so it sounds like we have some glimmerings of a plan here. We need to... so, Varak, you're going to the illusionist or whoever it is that Miram was in contact with.
Yeah, first I want to go see Feishan and see about what's a way out, hopefully. And then I'll go see the illusionist and get that organized.
Well, are we doing this all sequentially as a group? Because I think we need to get this done as quickly as possible. It might be wise to split our efforts in that case. Certainly if I go to see my family with Lucy in tow, they already know him.
Yeah, and Lucy would be good backup for you should you be encountered.
It won't come to that.
No, I don't mean by them, I mean by the guard. Like, that's who I'm more concerned about, not your family. I'm sure your family will be just fine with you, but I'm more concerned about the townspeople being a bit more... Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Amanita, which team would you prefer to go with?
Maybe I'll stay away from Lucy for a little bit. He won't stop staring.
Yeah, I'll try and have a word with him about that en route. It's getting a bit intrusive.
Horse, do you want to take... Oh, I don't know if it's a good idea. Leo, perhaps you should go with Korsk, and I'll take Marcus with me.
Okay.
I don't want both people who are relatively known to the guard to be caught in the same group, because then it looks a bit... well.
Certainly do a Cleo's level-headedness as well.
Right. So I'll take Marcus and me, and Amanita, if you want to come with me as well, that's fine. And that should be everything sorted.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just looking up the polymorph spell now.
But before we kind of get any further, Amanita, what happened last night?
What do you mean?
Well, you weren't you were a bit different.
Didn't.
I would guess that Amanita still looks in the same way, given the voice you're using?
Yep.
I mean, it's not like you've gone back to normal either, unless this is normal and the other was just a...
I mean, normally I'm supposed to change back, but...
It's lasted longer this time?
This is the first time I've used the... you know... Anyway.
Well, are you fine? Do you feel okay?
No, I'm fine.
Alright. I mean... Alright.
Curious. Amanita, who has more faces, you or a gelatinous cube?
Well, that is a good question.
You seem to have had 3 from you already. I just wonder if there's more secrets. That will...
In due time.
That means there's more secrets, Cleo.
Intriguing.
Well, as long as you're alright, Amanita, I guess that's fine. But if there's something that you need to talk to us about, it'd be mighty great if you did.
Amanita kind of looks at Lucy, still staring at her. Maybe not now.
Ah, well, whenever you feel ready to, we are here.
It's like Amanita's Groot. Like we've had baby Groot. We've now got scruffy teenager Groot. With a higher word power, of course. Cool. So we've got 2 teams then. I would suggest we go to the team without Lucy first, given Charlie isn't due till 4:30. So that is Varak, Amanita, and Marcus. Is that right?
Yep.
Just before they set off, can I ask how the polymorph attempt goes, Jess?
What, the spell that I'm going to be using? Basically, I have a choice of summoning a certain amount of creatures, so either 1 Fey creature of level 2, 2 level 1s, 4 half ones, or 8 quarter ones. What I'd have to do is summon the 8 quarter ones, which allows me to summon pixies. Now, them pixies can then cast spells, including polymorph and flight. So they could, you could have a pixie each above you that casts polymorph and, if needs be, fly.
Mm-hmm.
How long it lasts up to an hour.
That'd be a good start, and then Course can cover the a second hour with one of his alter selves.
The range is 60 foot, so the fairies can fly up at a distance, or Marwan can have them near her, so we stay together in an area. But it's best to have them out of range of pretty much being shot. The pixies can go invisible if needs be, but if I get knocked or anything like that, the concentration isn't.
So I think, so polymorph itself is not a concentration spell, but summon woodland creatures is.
Yeah.
So so they need to be in range of your concentration.
Yep.
However, once they've done the transmutation spell, I think that's it until the person goes to.
Yeah, I think so. Right? Normally, you're supposed to use this in battle, and you keep your fairies there and like the pixies there and have them up high hidden. And but I think you can dispel them, but
there's an hour as well on the duration of the polymorph.
The whole point is during tactics, I'm supposed to fly up quite high as well, so that way, if anything tries to shoot me, if I get hit, the whole spell just goes.
So the way I understand it is it's basically from the moment where we separate. That's 1 hour of polymorph time.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah. Who chooses what the polymorph ends up being?
That's up to the DM.
Spell transforms a creature you can see within range. One can be any beast whose challenge rating is equal or less than the target's, or the target's level, if it doesn't have a challenge rating. So
I've posted the pixies in.
So it will be, given Korsk is the target, for example, it will be whatever.
Yeah, from the spell description, I think the form is up to Amanita then.
That or the DM, if the DM wants to cause havoc and just turn people into bunny rabbits.
So you can't speak, cast spells, or take any other action. It requires.
You pretty much just get pretty much it's you turn into, it's like when I polymorph into animals.
Yeah.
You get that stat.
I hesitate to suggest it, but Korsk the camel for one episode.
I was thinking camel or some sort of bird of prey.
The camel is more humiliating though, so.
You could always be a lizard, seeing as you are one.
I suppose.
Gecko.
Oh god.
Korsk the gecko.
Lucy has a pet gecko for one episode. Let's see if he doesn't suffocate it.
Question is, what would Lucy be?
Yeah, that's a good point. But the problem is you'd have to. I mean, I'm guessing. Well, I mean, Sam, what's your thoughts on trying to track your people down?
We'll probably Lucy and myself and Korsk will turn up to the Mercenaries Guild as prospective hirers.
Okay.
And we'll try to. Korsk knows pretty well what kind of work his tribe does in the past for any people offering mercenary work, so he knows what to ask for.
Okay. So I would imagine that you'd be a camel at this point, unable to speak, so Lucy would be doing the talking.
Yes, if it's in the first hour. If it's after the first hour, then Korsk can do a alter self and basically be a dragonborn.
I'm assuming Lucy would use disguise self whilst in that kind of war shade, flea market and portside type area. I seem to recall the Mercenaries Guild is in the Wall Shade. Remember rightly?
Yeah, sounds about right. They're doing sketchy stuff.
Let me have a look.
Yeah, so we need to find them, but we need to not find them too quickly.
So are you thinking of turning into a camel then?
If that's what's happening with the if it's the polymorph that's happening first, then that's probably what it will be. Yeah.
Post. Done.
Oh no, here we go. If I should run out of hit points for whatever reason, does that cause the polymorph to fail?
I think it dispels it, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like any other polymorph spell.
Cool.
God, the comments on this one.
Ha ha ha.
Someone put into some serious effort into describing how camel spit works. But yeah, that sounds fun. Let's do that.
Cool.
Corsk the camel.
What's the camel?
Corsk spelled with a C for the sake of the camel.
We know straight away that this episode's going to be Corsk Gets the Hump.
Yeah.
Unless somebody comes up with something better during the conversation. Cool. So, that's that plan then. So you're going to head to the Mercenaries Guild in the Wall Shade. So you don't have to cross any gates. You just need to keep a low profile and...
Don't spit in anyone's eyes.
Yeah.
It's like an uncontrollable impulse. Just like all of a sudden you twitch and you spit in someone's face.
I mean, Corsk was irritable to begin with, but now it's getting worse.
So let me just take this back down and swap the map. So... I would say it probably takes you about 25 minutes to get to where the Mercenaries Guild is. You probably need to do a bit of finding. I would also add as well that the disguise guy, I think, is in the Wall Shade as well. So you are all heading in a similar direction.
We just kind of head in the same way and they kind of break off on it when we need to, I guess.
So, could you all... So I'm assuming you all leave together or make it out in separate groups to kind of just make it look like you're not together, but you'll be heading in a similar route to begin with. Could you all make stealth checks, please?
Strength checks.
Has the polymorph already taken place? So am I stealth checking as a camel right now?
You are stealth checking as a camel.
Okay. Bear with me.
Oh dear. I forgot to turn.
So I'm just doing this as a straight D20 roll with the modifier.
And if we turned Marcus into something?
No, I was just going to hide him.
Okay.
You can turn him into something if you want, because you get up to 8 pixies. So...
Oh, so each pixie can do something.
Yeah.
Oh,
So everyone pretty much gets a pixie. Maybe even 2.
I not give Marcus a choice and just turn him into something.
Yeah.
I've posted the beast, list as well.
Oh, nice.
So I don't think Corsk is even trying to be subtle as the camel.
It doesn't need to be. It's a camel. He looks fine.
Stealth.
Stealth camel.
Is Rat on the list?
Special ops camel.
Okay.
I love 5e tools. Comes in handy.
We might need to do whatever beast we pick. If you do another camel, then we probably need to do Marcus as a stealthy camel as well.
I was going to say rat for Marcus and just hide him in my pocket.
I think there is a rat in there somewhere.
Stuff him in really quickly.
Okay. You do rat then.
Hiding away.
This episode,
Marcus.
this episode is
Wait.
becoming a metaphor for people's spirit animals.
In which
Oh.
case, I'll say roll with advantage for his stealth roll.
Give him another cheeky stealth roll then.
Turtle is on the list as well.
Oh,
Sleight
but
of
that's sleight of hand.
Tortoise.
Apologies.
Plus 4 anyway, it's fine.
I can't see for some reason. It's not making
I'm going to
noise.
say stealth him as a rat. You pull up the stats for a rat and then do it with advantage.
Yeah. Well,
I'll get.
I'll do it through my thing.
Given he's in your pocket.
Yeah.
Who else we got? Oh, Cleo. We need to do Cleo as well, don't we? And we need to do Lucy, I think.
Right, it's a desert. Like, I was gonna say, could have turned him into a baboon.
Oh dear.
How do I go about rolling a stealth roll for the rat? Because
Are you on D&D Beyond?
yeah,
Okay, I'll get it up for you.
thank you.
Marcus has 1 hit point max.
I think it's just Dex, isn't it?
This is just straight dex, isn't it?
So
There we
just
are.
use the Dex modifier.
It's a
Wow.
plus 0.
Okay.
So
You-
Marcus stealthily hides in my pocket and
disappears into your pocket.
like a ghost.
So I'm
That's
assuming
correct.
your 12 is you and your 19 is Marcus.
Yeah, Varak's 12 is my stealth roll there, yeah.
Or, and then Korsk is just a clippity clop camel. And Amanita's thing. Okay. So, in terms of, have we got Lucy yet? No, we've not got Lucy yet, I don't think.
I think half an hour.
Who's doing Lucy?
Oh,
Okay.
range
It would be
roll.
me.
Okay. Do you want to just do a stealth check?
Yeah. Da, 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 da. I haven't. I don't know if he's updated his sheets, but he can do that. Well, here we go.
Okay, so he's fairly stealthy for once. So, generally, whilst Korsk and Cleo aren't making much noise, Marcus, Lucy and Cleo aren't making much noise. They're kind of given away by this clip-clop on the hard cobblestones of Korsk, as Korsk the camel thinging away, stepping away, trotting away, and Lucy's turned himself into, I would imagine, some kind of poor, skinny human that looks a bit like a vagrant, with like hempen kind of cloth over his kit, so he could still hide the back and stuff. Not human, sorry, dragonborn, and let's say a yellow dragonborn, and he's heading south. Everybody else is relatively inconspicuous. Varak every now and again the sand in the air, the dust in the air gets to him and he has to cough now and again. So they see this kind of dragonborn moving along, having to cough.
It's up though, like height, like totally like covered.
Just see it as some old geezer with a camel. And that gets you into the flea market. You can see the guard presence is increased, especially at the main gate and along the walls. Like the main walls is quite... They're obviously trying to prevent people from coming in or out. You make it to the wall's shade. At that point, you see the two groups peel away from each other and head to different areas. Varak and Co. You make your way into some relatively run-down housing, still made of sandstone, but quite poor. It's like sticks on roofs rather than the seaweed type covering that you see. Litter kind of blows around in the wind. You see feces kind of piled out of what looks like bathroom windows with a trail down the side of as though somebody's just stuck their backside out and done their business. There's a bit of a manure type smell and also rotten meat. It looks as though people have just like threw their leftovers and things like that out the window. You feel that Marcus's rat form would feel quite at home there. Eventually,
be free.
Eventually, you make your way to a quiet street. There's yellow sandstone walls, red, and surprisingly a red tiled roof. It's quite a humble affair. What would you like to do?
Is this the same place that I remember getting led to before? Is it slightly different?
Different.
Oh.
You've not been here before. From the description, you're sure it's the right place.
Oh, yeah. I just knock on the door and just, hey buddy, you in there? Just like pounding on the door.
You hear swearing and stuff clattering inside. Shit. You hear somebody you hear like somebody with a walking stick. Like you hear footsteps, but hey, along with it. They get to the front door and you hear numerous locks unlocking. This kind of eye pops out the narrowest of gaps. What the bloody hell do you want?
Apologies, I'm looking for someone who can make a dragonborn, not a dragonborn anymore.
Who sent you?
Lady Miran.
For fuck's sake, I told her last time was the last time.
Yeah, she doesn't like taking no for an answer, though. You know what she's like.
Well, I guess you better come in then.
Much obliged.
And you all pile in. Well, you, Amanita, and
The hidden rat.
shuts the door. You can see there's like 6 or 7 locks that he digs. Inside is just fucking clutter everywhere. Like all over the thing. Books kind of just laid one on top of each other. There's like dinner plates that have still got rotten food on them, flies buzzing around.
What a lovely place you have here.
Don't be fucking sarcastic. It's a fucking shithole.
I apologize.
You should hire a cleaning service.
Are you offering?
How much will you pay?
He'd be busy while I'm working on him.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Amanita, if there's anything in here that you're uncomfortable with dealing with, just pile it up in a corner somewhere, and I'm sure he'll be fine dealing with it himself.
Looking at this place is awful.
As you're kind of going through, you're finding stuff that is more and more disgusting. It's like the remains of a steak with maggots all over it. Kind of there's a particular plate with baked beans on it, and it's just like as it's been eaten, it's obviously been shocked by something, and it's splattered up the walls. There's dried baked beans on the wall. And of course it's sandstone as well, so it's difficult to kind of get off. You've got to kind of scrape away at it.
She proper scraping is just like, it's just, I can't stand the disgustingness of it. She's a clean freak.
You see this? I got that from last week with the hat. You got the you don't want to know about the bathroom. There's like a bucket that's overflowing with excrement.
Oh, she'll be gagging, but she'll be like,
which is obviously had a go at tipping out of the window a few too many times, and sometimes he's tipped a bit too early and it's all come down the inside, but he's not bothered to wipe it up or anything. So there's a sink that's full of like, I don't know, some sort of weird scum of water with, I don't know what it is. It looks like it looks as though he's been like clipping his claws or something, and it's all kind of got into the plug hole and blocked it. So as you're doing that, having to deal with all that, holding your vomiting, it's like, I told Miran after last time not to come asking again. I suppose she wants to send you on some fucking important mission, doesn't she? Help build the wall, of course.
Yeah, but a little secret to me and you. I'm not gonna go do that. So, I'll pay you a bit for your trouble here, and you'll pretend you didn't even see me. I didn't come in to get this appointment or anything like that. And my friend's cleaning your place as well, so I figured that might help tip the balance here as well.
How much you offering?
Well, okay, Varyk's feeling his coin pouch at the minute. 150 gold.
$1,000.
How much?
10,000. You heard me?
You can get stuff for that. I'll just do the appointment register, then you can tell her where I'm going.
Well, I'm sure there's a bounty on you. If you're in that, or there will be. Maybe the reward will be more than 150 gold pieces. Quite substantial, I think. Especially if you've gone back on advice of Mira.
If you want to get into the threatening game, my friend, I promise you won't win this.
I'm not threatening anything, I'm just saying. There are multiple ways in which one can profit from this venture.
Right?
I could easily say you had me at knife point. Do the job anyway, and then get paid for it by feeding a lead. That information would be worth more than 150 gold pieces. Probably more near the 10,000 mark.
Alright, well... I'm not paying you 10,000 gold pieces, so, yeah, you can tell her, I guess, and still get paid. I'm not bothered. I was just trying to make you a little bit of extra money, but whatever. I mean, I'd be 150 gold pieces lighter, you'd be 150 gold pieces richer, and we'd all come away from it a bit more, but as far as the bounty money goes, I'm going to make sure as hell you're not going to see any of that.
$10,000 gold then?
Alright, Amity, let's pack it up. This guy's a loser. We'll get out of here.
But I'm not done yet.
No,
Stinks
but I'm
in
done
here.
with him. Well, it does, and it'll continue to stink for him.
With that, she'll come out with the bucket and just like put it against his chest again.
You're a shit negotiator, by the way. You didn't even move.
Why would I move? 150 is my limit. I'm pretty resolute that'd be that's more than a lot of other folk got around here. So
Do you actually realise what you're asking me to do here?
I'm asking you to not say anything. That I didn't come by. It's not hard to lie about that. I'm not asking you to turn your back on anyone. I'm asking you not to say I came through.
I'm happy enough to do that, as long as you're paying for the work I'm going to do.
How much is the work you're going to do?
£10,000. 10,000 gold.
Well, I mean, I don't have that kind of money. Unless there's something else that I could do to help cover the cost. Something quick and easy. I can't go outside.
It's okay, Varak. I've still got to discuss my...
That's true.
You said, how much was it again for you to cast?
10,000 gold pieces is what he's
10,000.
after. Or 1,000 silver pieces.
I mean, it's going to cost me a lot of money to get supplies and clean this shithole up. Then it's going to take me a lot of time. Not much time. What do you feel like? How much do you feel like my handiwork?
I've not seen how good you are yet.
Sorry, what is that?
Who, me or Varak?
Yeah, you.
I've not seen your
Okay.
handiwork yet.
Well, I've already started, and you can already see partially how more decent it looks and smells.
You think if I was that bothered, I'd actually not have paid somebody else to do it already?
Yes, but they can't clean as good as I am.
Name a more reasonable price for my work. And maybe we could have more of a sensible discussion.
All right. Well, how about an IOU from me, and you can call upon me at some point, and I'll come do you a favor.
I don't even know who the fuck you are.
Precisely. But I am a man with a very particular set of skills.
And what sort of skills would they be?
I mean, if I say this and you tell someone what my profession is, I'd have to kill you. So unless you want that burden upon your shoulders, just say I'm very good at dealing with people.
I think you're very good at being full of shit.
I hear that a lot too.
Please can we
It's not a
refrain
bit
from
like it,
saying
it's what-
shit? I can already smell the shit up there.
I don't enjoy doing this procedure. I've only done it once before, and it's quite intricate and dangerous. Requires a debt to be fulfilled. You see, and he kind of rubs his forehead. He is a crystal dragonborn, so he's like a transparenty light blue color, like white, between silver and white blue, and you can see as he furrows his brow and rubs his forehead, you can see the light changing on his scales into like different rainbow colors. Me man come to me years ago with a young girl. They were looking to smuggle her out of the country for some reason. Miran said it was for her own safety. Let's just say she wanted her transformed into a human. In looks, at least. There were some flaws that gave her away. The hair was odd. At this point, you feel Marcus scurrying around in your pocket uncomfortably. I believe I've overcome the flaw in my process, but after the last time I did this procedure, I had a few visits from some cultists. Mentioned something about a talisman. I didn't know what the fuck they were talking about. So I sent them on their way.
Right.
But this happened a couple of times. I eventually found that I believe it was the girl they were after. Quite sure why, but rainbow hair. That was the effect. I believe it was something to do with my scales and the way the light went through as I was concocting the hair. I believe if I wear the right protection, you would be transformed into the right, we'll be able to style your hair into whatever colour we would need it to. I will add that this involves some dark magic. And until undone by the appropriate spell, it would be a permanent transformation. It is the dealing in the dark magic which requires an offering. Hence the price. Dangerous to me. And I also don't want more cultists coming to my door, so I had to take particular measures to avoid it.
Well, I can assure you, cultists aren't going to be coming after you for me. But if it's something like, you can have my firstborn, you can have my firstborn.
He looks you up and down, going, I think the time for that has passed somehow.
I am still a young old man. Come on, I've still got it. You're pulling me off track here. What's the cost?
Offer me? Make an offer. I've told you my starting point is £10,000. 10,000 gold pieces. Don't know what these pound things are, but 10,000 gold pieces.
10,000 pounds of gold. Well, what's the physical cost to you? If it's dark magic and it requires an offering, is it like you pay with your life or something like that? And
at that point, he pulls back his cloak, and you can, at the bottom, and you can see that he is missing his foot and the lower half of his leg up to his shin, and has a metal false leg.
See, it's a very physical cost. And there's no way to impart some of that cost onto me, is there?
No.
Right.
It would take years to learn the correct incantations.
Right. Well, I don't have 10,000 gold, but if that's how much the council will pay you for the service, I guess you could just tell them. I'm not gonna... Unless you want something else in compensation, but I can only offer a maximum of 500 gold pieces. Quite light in the pockets these days.
What else do you have?
You can have this dragon's armpit that's partially used. I've got some caltrops if you fancy them. I've got 80 of them. I've got 4 bags.
Sorry?
Caltrops. Little spiky, jaggy things you throw on the floor and stops people from getting in.
Can't see it would be any use to me.
I mean, it might stop the cultists, but hey, what do I know? What about... I don't know. I don't have anything. Really. I have a set of dice.
Is there a way you can get hold of the amount of gold I seek?
Yeah, but not immediately. I mean, I could definitely get it to you, but I don't have access to it within the next few weeks. I gotta travel back to a place up north, get it solved there, and probably come back down.
Anything you could offer as collateral? The cleaner, perhaps?
She's staying. I kind of look kind of peer over my cloak, look at Marcus a little, just. Shit. Here. This is my knife. It means a hell of a lot to me. Right? And you can see this is from Dragonborn Military. It's a very refined and well-polished knife, and I like to keep good care of it. I'm due you that 10,000 for you not to utter a word to the council, and not to mention anything of my presence in your shop here today. I will give you this as collateral, and you can sure as hell bet I'll be back for this. And I'll give you 150 gold as compensation for the fact that it's a very small knife, but it means a lot to me.
Very well. Your friend finishes her work here. Give me the knife. And I also request one of your scales.
One of my scales.
Yes.
I mean, they don't tend to. I mean, I could pry one off for you, but.
That would suffice.
All
And he
right.
hands you back the knife to do it.
Amanita, can you come give me a hand very quickly?
Okay. What do you want me to do?
I need you to take my knife and pick off one of the scales off my back.
And you want me to do it while you're awake?
Yep.
Okay. I was going to suggest putting you to sleep, but oh well, and she just does it.
Get those clippers away, I swear.
Hi, Charlie. Can I just say, you and Korsk are elsewhere with Cleo. Korsk is currently a camel. And Marcus is a rat. Amanita and Varak and Marcus in Varak's pocket in rat form are trying to buy a disguise for Varak. It will be a permanent disguise until the spell is undone, or with the right spell undoes it.
Are we just disguising as animals in general?
No,
Or is there a particular reason?
This will turn Varak into another form. I would ask Varak what his... Well, I will ask in a minute what his favoured form would be.
Okay. Because if it was animals, I just want to put out there, Lucy would choose a peacock.
I can see that. I can really see that, yeah.
Has done this experiment once before, turning a young dragonborn into a human. It was slightly flawed. It did cost him his he had to make a sacrifice to some, and it uses dark magic. He had to make a sacrifice, which was effectively his leg up to his knee, to do it. It didn't go exactly to plan, and this particular Dragonborn ended up with a hair discoloration, which got Marcus excited in Varak's pocket. Of course, he can't talk at this point in time. And that's where we are. So, okay then. This will take... a good part of today.
Right.
You make yourself comfortable. And your rat friend may need to... might want to take him out of your pocket in case he transforms back into himself. Now, what form would you like to take?
Oh, so this is a question for Wayne. Does this change Varak's physical properties, like attributes and stuff like that as well, or is it's literally just a look?
It's literally just a look. But you will feel like
I'll physically feel like a different race.
But you'll still have like your breath weapon and things like that.
You know what? We're going to a dwarf. Supposedly going to a dwarf country. Varak might go down the dwarf route, but I'm not sure how. Not crag dwarf. Like, make it very obviously not crag dwarf. Like, give me a minute to think of something, and I'll because I need to put some thought into this, because I want to actually enjoy my character's looks for a little while anyway.
Very well. So we could leave it there for a minute, for a while we flip to Korsk, Lucy, and Cleo. Korsk the camel. So they are headed to the Mercenaries Guild, also in the Wallshade. Korsk, I believe, had a plan of how to approach this. They're looking for Korsk's people.
Yeah, no plan survives contact with Lucy.
So am I currently disguised as anything, or am I just Lucy?
No, you've used disguise self to transform yourself into a yellow dragonborn with like a Sian sack type clothing, type gown.
It's still a white cloak.
You look like a farmer, basically.
Yeah, I imagine as well you're pulling, you like a, Korsk has like a mouth harness on in order to pose as like an actual beast of burden, and I imagine Lucy is tugging a bit hard in times. Korsk is just trying to look around as they're going through, and he's like...
I would think he's just singing a tune to himself and sort of like pulling along as he dances. Not meaning to be violent, just not noticing.
Cleo is just Cleo, but he's got his hood up on his robes. And
such a lazy disguise.
Some dust up and made them look a bit dirty. So you head down a few busy streets, and actually under one of the white walls, in the shade of one of the white walls, you find a yellow sandstone building with a wooden roof. It's one floor, but it looks as though it's got several rooms in it. On the wall is a poster with looking quite tattered and curled up at one corner, but in yellow, like papyrus type paper. It's got written on it in quite well, in common, strangely in common, not in draconic, neatly lettered in rather worn but calligraphy type writing. Join the Mercenaries Guild here. Oh, no, actually, sorry. Join the Mercenary Legion here. In front of you is two kind of wooden doors. And the roof is actually made of planks of wood, which is different to all the seaweed that you get in that area. This looks like the place. Not sure what they mean by the Mercenary Legion, though.
Well, I guess we should go inside then.
Course kind of jostles at the harness and is trying to tug towards either if there's a nearby stable or alley or something.
Is there a nearby stable? Or drinking post that he can be attached to?
There's a couple of kind of camel hitches round the side of the building, and there's like a young Dragonborn boy that is mucking out.
Lucy thinks we should all just go in.
With the camel?
Yeah.
It's like Course is tugging frantically, but he can't speak, so he can't rat out. He can't chew you out right now.
I think the guild would take an exception if we were to take a camel into the building.
Okay.
I think we either hitch him up or we. Kosk, are you wanting to transform back, or are you? I guess you can't. I'm not sure what that means, Kosk.
Maybe he's thirsty, and I just sort of put him next to the water. They
That
just
thing
sort
is
of tugging.
once every few cycles.
I think you can take a camel to water, but can you make it drink?
You just see Korsk's camel eyes just.
You look at the water as well, and you can see bits floating in it. You're fairly sure that the boy who's been mucking out has spilt some on his way out and not avoided the vat of water. Oh,
Can I make a strength check to see if I manage to pull free of Lucy's grip on the harness?
yeah, please do. Could you do a strength athletics? Do athletics actually. Both of you. We'll do contested.
Should I apply a proficiency bonus to this? I mean, it's a camel, doesn't have skills or anything.
Are you doing it as the camel?
Yeah.
Yeah, so just do a strength check.
Okay.
I rolled a 19.
God damn, Lucy rolled well.
Natural 20. 8.
It's like trying to pull away, but Lucy's getting too into character for this.
Of course, the camel is starting to be a bit unruly. Is he trying to tell us something, Lucy?
Well, I've noticed there's some stuff floating in this water, so I was just going to give him a bowl of, fresh water. I don't know if that's what he was moaning about, was it? But anyway.
In which direction are you pulling, Korsk?
So I imagine there's the way the stable is set up is they've got a pen where all the animals go. That's got a gate across it, so it's slightly obscured. It's there.
Okay. I think he seems to want to join his friends. How about we hitch him up in the pen and we go in?
Are we not his friends? Fine. Hitch up the camel and then walk away.
So, just in quick out of character, how long does the polymorph spell have left on it?
About 35 minutes.
The pixie's still following us.
The only way you can probably get out of it is if you get rid of all your hit points of that creature.
Train yourself as a camel.
That would be somewhat ironic. Alright, when we get to the stable, I imagine we had this discussion before leaving off. Horsk is going to kick Lucy when he turns around to leave, as the camel.
Okay, could you roll an attack?
Okay,
I'll assume it's the same as your bite.
so that's
You really... Mm-hmm.
13. Does that hit?
It does not. But what it does get you is 2 of these.
I'll just...
All according to plan. Okay.
18 and a 16.
Oh, there's
Do they
definitely hit.
the camel?
It's definitely hit. What's the damage?
28.
That's enough. Are these going into my character hit points as well?
So you take, I think you take the camel down to 0,
Yep.
and then you take the remainder off.
Okay, that's not too bad.
But I think that's how it works.
So she'll just turn to Cleo and go, he hit me!
So the camel is blasted back into the corner of the stables, and then slowly starts to detransfigure until a very exhausted-looking Korsk is just lying there on his back in the corner. I would have thought you knew the hoof trick language by now. 1 for
Why
yes,
did
2 for no.
I'm
You
not
hit
sure
me,
it's
or you tried to hit me.
I'm not sure he's completely turned back. He's still got the hump.
Korsk reaches into his satchel, pops off the lid of a drink, and then just downs it in one go. And that is a disguise, a transformation elixir. So he's got 10 minutes of looking like a dragonborn with some slight facial differences to Lucy. Looks like his brother or something.
Why did you try and hit me?
Because you were going to leave, me here, and I couldn't get you out, take me out of this form any other way.
You could have asked.
I did ask.
No, you just stomped about like that. I thought you were in a huff. I don't know.
Well, you were partially right on that. In any event.
Yes, I think given he's got the time limit on his spell, we should get in.
Mhm.
So you enter via the middle doors. You are met by a thick smoke as you walk in. You're in a social room, fairly sizable, with the smoking area, and there's a little bar for self-service drinks. There's a few half-orc mercenaries sat around a table playing knife games. On the back wall is a large notice board with lots of things posted on it. Upon you entering, a little doorbell goes off, and you, rather short, fat dragonborn who seems to be missing quite a few scales on his face and down one of his arms. It's like in some places there's more flesh than there is scales, and it looks quite as though he's got some sort of skin complaint. And he's talking to the people inside the room, going, "Just be a minute. I'll just see who this is. Don't you go anywhere." Shuts the door. Now. Howdy.
It's a pleasure to meet you, sir.
All right, my lovely.
Pleasure's all mine. That's a bit of a strange accent you got there, my friend.
Well, I've been farming all this time. I don't really talk to people and I make up accents, and this one has stuck.
It's been a habit of his ever since he was a small child.
Very well. So,
Yes.
my name's Darren. I run the guild. What can I do for you? You looking for work?
No, we're looking to hire out.
Oh. Very
We have
good.
we are, myself and my friend form part of a merchant business. We take cargo across the desert between Dragon's Claw and Dragon's Foot.
I drive the camel.
We're a very forceful hand. Essentially, we've entered into a disagreement with a rival company that led to them making off with some of our merchandise. We attempted official channels, but we haven't been able to get any progress there as yet. Something about insufficient evidence, and they're not keen on doing an investigation. So we're looking for a alternative means to retrieve that cargo.
All right.
We were directed to your company on the grounds that you had some a subcontractor essentially come into your employ recently. One that was especially good at acquiring lost property, both through shall we say, both through the physical capability and the art of bartering using a rival's less honourable points.
Sounds like most of my mercenaries tell you the truth.
Okay, I apologise, I should be clearer.
Sure, there's something we can do for you, though, certainly.
Yes, but I am especially keen to try out these new subcontractors. They're rather diminutive in stature. They're also rather ingenious compared to your typical mercenary. Very skilled in the arts of fighting efficiently, of not necessarily tackling problems head on, and having a good deal of subtlety.
Why, if they've got a fan club, you're certainly member number one, aren't you?
Indeed. I've heard very positive things from a friend.
And what sort of work have you heard about doing for me? I might know if you know the contract, yeah?
Tackling, taking hold of cargo in the area around the science fair. They've recently branched out into this area. They've also taken care of some squatters outside in the desert recently.
Oh, you mean our Kobold friends?
That sounds like how they were described. Instantly, yes.
Well, the guy called him Lizardy.
Of course. That's their lesser nickname, though. Such a fine contractor deserves to be called by their proper names.
Well, likely I can put you in touch with them. The cost for a fee.
The business
Standard rate
is
is 20% of the job. What sort of reward were you thinking of for locating this cargo of yours?
so is that 20% up front then?
Mm-hmm.
I see. Okay. So, sorry, doing some math in my head, and I realize I need a calculator.
For your 20%, we will advertise the job, of course, but if you're after a particular mercenary, then, of course, we'll call it finder's fee.
And what would this additional finder's fee cost?
As I said, 20% of whatever your
20%.
reward you're offering.
Okay. Let's fix the initial price then at 1,200 gold pieces, which would be a finder's fee of 240.
Mm-hmm. That sounds more than reasonable.
Would it be possible as well for you to put us in contact with them today? The job is very urgent, and I imagine we need to negotiate up front.
He stares at the door that he came out of. Might be I can do that. I got some things to attend to first. Why don't you wait here? Take yourselves a seat. I won't be too long.
Course glances at Lucy for what?
Do you have a toilet around here?
Why? Just by the door. At the door between the bar and the notice board.
Upon saying that, thank you kindly, and he just walks to the door that he came from and goes in.
Your friend's mad as strange. Do you know that? Is he
You
alright?
you have no idea. He's alright though. Once you kind of get to know him.
So just to clarify, Lucy went into the door that our small, badly haircutted, dragonborn friend has come from.
Not that. Oh.
Yes, I apologise. He's a bit like that as well. Do you want me to go fetch him?
No, you stay here. Lucy walks into a room. Sat around a desk are 5 kobolds.
You walked in there alone.
On seeing you, they immediately draw their swords. What's this?
All right, my lovelies. This doesn't look like the toilet.
It's out.
Do I see a bucket anywhere?
No. Get
A plant pot?
out.
I hear this.
You hear rather aggressive shouting that sounds familiar.
Wait here.
I'll
Kursk
just-
and Kursk charges through the front door.
So you charge into the thing, and the guy's like, "No, wait, no! I know how to handle him. Don't worry. And he kind of shoves himself between Lucy and them. This is purely a mistake, guys. Yeah, honest mistake. Come on. Let's. And he puts his arm around Lucy. Come on, let's find you the toilet.
Just wanted to go for a piss.
Do I know the names of anyone there? Like, I won't use their name, but I just, like, if I can call them by their names, then I will.
So there is one you recognize. That you. A large set lady with steel armor and scars, like lots of cut scars across her arms. You recognize her, and you know her name is H-E-K.
H-E-K. How do you pronounce it again?
Heck.
Heck.
Heck, as in hell. Heck. Oh, heck. The last time you knew of her, she was one of your cousin's lieutenants. So, as the guy guides Lucy out the room, you are in there with them yourself. Aren't you following them?
Don't need to go anywhere just yet, Heck. In the meantime, you've done very well for yourselves in business, I hear. And with that, Coursecore lets the disguise potion go and revert to his normal form.
Ah, look who it is, boys. Kosk, deserter of her own. The first sign of Stanex's madness. Him making us swear we wouldn't hunt you down. Still, a vow is a vow.
Sonic is... That's not what I'm here for, Heck.
She gets a whetstone out and starts sharpening her knife as you're talking. She sits back down.
The short and short of the matter is, I think you're going to be in trouble in the next few days. And I came here to warn you. You need to stop this business with the Dragonborn in the desert right now. The Dragonborn military is going to become very suspicious of kobolds over the next couple of days. You've already pissed off several people who are related to the deserters you've been killing.
Is that right? But the Dragonborn play handsomely for cleaning the land of deserters.
You don't know what you're playing with, Heck. You're in the middle of an internal conflict. There are some Dragonborn who will do anything, and I mean anything, to protect those people. Even overthrow the government who's paying you. I don't think they'll think twice about killing you either.
Thanks for the warning. But you don't understand, there are lots of us, Korsk. We have a camp outside the Sun's Gate. Perhaps you should come and visit us. Say hello to some old friends. We can talk more there. About our friends. And your cousin. And his madness. Broken the tribe is.
Wouldn't have happened just because of me. It wouldn't.
Says you found a blue-eyed god in the forest. Told him there must be peace. Ordered us to stop our raids. Change the way we live. Have to eat berries. Eat. We struggle as a tribe. We offered to go and earn some gold. Far away. Not bring the trouble. Not bring the war or the disrupt his peace. It was that or us. Leave the tribe once and for all. Here we have came.
Everyone? Have you all left the science fight?
Some remain.
What about Sonic?
Too bewitched by a blue-eyed god he is.
Tulloch is a man of conviction. He wouldn't have. He would stick with those ideals. He would never abandon them just because some jumped-up mage told him so.
After mage. In his mind, we think this is. The forest has been searched. Nobody found his blue-eyed god. All Sonic will say is, repeats its words. There must be peace.
We can find you on the camp. Sun's Gate, right?
Beyond the Sands Gate.
Sun's Gate. Okay. The group I'm representing in this transaction may have a job for you. We'll talk more about Sonic and what's becoming of the tribe. In the meantime, are you the highest point of authority here, Heck?
I may be.
Yeah, I was regretting that, asking that already. I need some time to think about what you just told me. We'll come back later, in the dead of night, and we'll put the full proposal to you there. And then I want some answers about what you're going to do next, about this Dragonborn problem in the desert.
Very well, Korsk. Till later.
Till later.
And they pick up a number of bags of gold coins, stand, and make to go out of the door. And leave through the front door of the Mercenaries Guild, shutting the door behind them.
So Korsk walks out of that room in his own normal form. And suppose the way he would have come across before is that tries to project his air of confidence about quite a bit. Now he's just looking withdrawn and his eyes are not really focused on where he's walking. He's just kind of sunken into himself. He takes out the 240 gold pieces and drops it on the counter next to the Dragonborn.
Cool.
Doesn't say a word and then just motions to Lucy to come out.
Guessing at this point Lucy has been to the toilet.
Lucy said a thing. He was trying to give you more time with the kobolds, so he may have popped his head out the toilet and asked the guy, "Dearie, would you give me a hand and hold it? My aim is horrid."
What?
It'll save in cleaning in the long run. Alright, well, don't say I
Do it
didn't
out the
warn you.
window, like everybody else.
As I said, my aim is horrid. Well, okay then. And then after he's done his business, he'll use the mug of retention inside just to splash some water about everywhere. Just to back up his story. Yep, just not quite a gallon, but enough. And then go outside and see Korsk is back, and we'll just leave out the front and go, "Alright, thank you, bye."
While the guy is looking inside going, "What the bloody hell? Are you been
tried to-
twisting it or something?"
I tried to warn you.
Dripping off the inside of the roof of the inside of the stall and everything like that.
But at least it distracted very well from the fact that Korsk walked in as a Dragonborn and came out as a Kobold. Okay. I just need, really sorry to kind of put this after a moment like that way, but I need to kind of take some notes of that conversation just to be sure I remember it.
Okay.
Sonic is it a blue-eyed god or blue-scaled god?
Blue-eyed god.
Blue-eyed god.
He encountered in the forest.
Demanding peace, right?
The words were, "There must be peace."
There must be peace. Right, and the tribe has splintered into two groups. One has come to Dragon's Claw, the other is still back in the Satisfy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those that have embraced peace and those that have decided to
Stabby.
earn some gold away from home.
Okay. Yeah, I think I remember all the other major points that came, particularly regarding the what are we calling them again? They're technically deserters, but I think there was another word for it. The Dragonborn settling in the desert.
Ashamed, wasn't it?
Shamed, yeah.
Shamed.
Were the ones that have been dismissed from the army.
Will Korsk inform us of what was said in his little tete-a-tete?
Yeah, I imagine if Lucy's asking questions, then Korsk will absent-mindedly be responding to him all the way back.
Well, I think Lucy could be a bit confused as to why you're a kobold again, and just, what's going on? What? Why? What happened? And if you do tell Lucy about the blue-eyed god and his little catchphrase, does Lucy recognize anything?
Actually, yeah, you're right. Korsk would trust Lucy enough to mention that now.
Okay.
Plus, he's also too shaken to really be hiding things at this point.
So, could Lucy do a history check, please?
Come on, don't be... yeah, let's just... Fingers crossed. 9.
You rack your brain to try and recall word of a blue-eyed god. Doesn't rack any memories. So, shall we flip back to Marcus, Varak, and Amanita? I'm assuming Amanita has continued her cleaning and at least got the bathroom sorted. And where are you?
She would have used plenty of druidcraft to make it smell a bit decent, and then probably cast a few little plants to.
Yeah,
I'm imagining it's like roses growing out the walls and things like that now.
I will also say Lucy hasn't forgotten we're needing a little chat.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
She's been keeping away from you.
So, Varak, have you decided what form you would like to take?
Yes, Varak is definitely, I think, going to go down the dwarf road. But
That's it.
Jess has kindly offered to quickly sketch out a character appearance so I can.
Fantastic. You are asked to lie down on this table. He scatters some clutter off it. You lie down. He fastens you to the table.
Ooh.
Gets out numerous sharp tools as though he's going to do some sort of operation. gets a box as well and a bucket. He chucks whatever's in the bucket out the window. It doesn't look like a very clean bucket.
Oh no.
He has a hacksaw, a hammer and a chisel. He then brings over a large book and some crumpled notes. He has a brazier there as well. And he starts burning odd things in the brazier. So you get the smell of like musty mint and mixed with rosemary. He sprinkles some diamond dust over the top of it.
Now, this is gonna fucking hurt, okay?
Ah, shit.
And he gets a hammer and just whacks you over the head to knock you out. Lifts one of your eyelids up.
Think that did the trick.
And he shouts at Amanita.
Don't worry, I just need him unconscious, okay? Now, where the fuck did I put that? Oh, shit.
And he goes and now. He goes and gets one of his false legs and brings it through.
Talk about 2 fucking left feet.
And then he sticks his leg up over the bucket and starts hacksawing away at his leg.
Ah, bollocks, it hurts.
Now, I need a... Hang on a minute, you smell of it. And he starts going through your pockets and finds your flask, unscrews it, and and then pours some of it on the wound. And then continues to hacksaw away at his leg. Then he uses some stuff out the brazier and cauterizes it after their leg and foot has fallen into the bucket. And then he straps the thing on. And he just continues doing some weird stuff. He's like slicing at your body and stuffing stuff into the cuts in different places. He takes most of the day. Amanita eventually finishes the cleaning and is stood there watching the end of it as he's busy stitching. And eventually, a rather sore Varak. Not as Varak anymore, but as a dwarf awakens as the crystal dragonborn is. You note he's sprouted some kind of like faint wings that he's flying around on. And he's wincing every time he lands to do something. But he's transferring buckets of what looks like scales and flesh and the like. And he's like slunging it out the window. He's going,
don't worry. Because of your shorter stature, I just had to do away with a couple of bits. It'll be fine. We can replace it later on. When we turn you back.
Right, as long as I get turned back, I'm not sure I like this.
You'll feel uncomfortable for a few days.
I could keep it in my hat. That way we've always got it.
Yeah, actually, don't throw my bits away. Give them to her and let her stuff them in the hat.
Are you sure they'll be quite messy and they'll begin to stink after a couple of days?
Good.
Will I grow them back? Is this
You might be able to use the scales for something. I can separate them from the limbs if needs be.
yeah, give me back my scales, please, actually.
Maybe you can make yourself a nice pair of gloves.
I don't want the gloves of my former scales, thanks. Maybe keepsake or something.
And he brings back this bucket full of, like, carved flesh.
Enjoy!
Hey, thank you. And that's 10,000 gold pieces in the air.
Wow.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, I'll keep your scale and your... Hey, we'll need the scale when you come back anyway. But just in case you run off and not pay me, know who I can give it to.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
So
I can't give you a time frame, by the way. Like, it'll be a while before I manage to get back to you, but I promise I'm coming back for that knife. You can have my, like, guaranteed word on that. I will be coming back for that. So, and I don't want to look like this forever.
No. You need to be able to reach the top shelf of the bar every now and again, don't you?
Oh my god, I can't even reach the top bar anymore. I think, Emily, that I may have had a little bit of an accident in my decision of who I get to become.
I mean, you can still fly, I guess.
Yeah, but I didn't fly because I was... Yeah, but that's using magic. Now I have to use magic.
You'll get
to-
used to it. Being short and all. She kind of like looks at him like pointing.
Well, yeah, I guess.
You mean built like a teapot rather than a flask?
I mean, you get some pretty big teapots. I mean, I'm more like a cup in comparison to like a jug or something like that.
I was thinking you were a little teapot, short and stout.
Thanks. Look, just because I look like a dwarf now doesn't mean you can start bringing out the insensitive jokes. Come on.
I remember that song. Ian sang that before he left.
Or didn't, is the case, maybe. We never did get Nell to sing that, did we? Still. Now. I mean, there's no going back now, but I must admit I was a bit stumped when you decided to opt for a dwarf. You will get some unwanted attention, I believe, but I don't think you'll come to harm here yet.
I mean, it's not like I didn't get unwanted attention anyway. Like, I previously walked straight into a courtroom and everybody stared at me. So I was well known beforehand anyway. Of course, not by myself, but previously.
Very well. So, you'll be sore for a few days. But the wounds are superficial.
Alright.
And thank you for your cleaning, dear. You have done a very upstanding job.
I suggest you book a cleaner every month or so, just to keep on top of it.
Wow, maybe when somebody pays me their £10,000, I will. Thank you.
£10,000 of gold. Yeah.
That or just buy some scented candles.
Gold coins. Sorry.
That or buy some scented candles. They go cheap.
Yes, in this place, though, it might go up in flames. Especially with some of my experiments. There's a reason I'm in the wall shade, you see? The people in the wall, in the proper walls, don't really appreciate things going bang in the night. But one must further their knowledge.
I think you'd like one of our other friends. He's very much into similar experiments, I guess. But that's a story for a different time. I need to be getting going because it has gotten super late, so...
Safe journey. What was your name again?
Karav. But I guess I'll go something else for the time being.
Yes, Karav the Dwarf sounds a little bit like Crag Dwarf, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It's like hitting the nail on the head almost, isn't it? So... I'll think of something.
Very well. If anybody asks, you never met me.
Of course, that goes both ways.
Indeed, Karav.
Yep. See ya. I kind of just like waddle out the
He shows you out with a fluttering of his wings.
Well, that ruined my fucking day.
You hear him say as he shut the door.
Marcus is a person again as well, isn't he? That was well over an hour, so... Marcus, I would recommend hiding yourself even more so than what you are, because you're a bit fierce.
You are with Amanita, though, so she can... If she's got the spell slot, she could redo the spell.
It's a 4th level spell.
Okay.
I might have polymorph.
Somebody's going in the pants.
Or the hat, I would say.
Or the hat, yeah.
Or the hat, yeah.
The top hat of holding.
But can he poke his head out of the hat? Like,
No, polymorph's a 4th level spell.
2-headed Amanita.
That's alright, I'll just shrink him.
Oh no. It's becoming the fallback position. When in doubt, shrink.
and shrink and hide him.
Shrink him, put him on her shoulder. Time. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty excruciating.
You're feeling quite bruised, and you're looking quite bruised underneath your beard and your
luscious locks.
Marcus is like, so I guess you know what the difference between hair and scales is like anyway. Is it any difference?
Yeah, my face itches and so does my head. I mean, I'm not sure I like this at all. My eyebrows as well. I mean, the hair kind of sucks.
Eyebrows kind of help when it rains. You'll get used to it.
Yeah.
As I say, Lucy's going to be so excited that you have hair.
I hope I don't get
all
shaved.
this time.
I already know what course
of it.
I already know what course is going to do.
Right, Amanita, we have to go see my friend Faishan before we do anything else today, because I need to make sure we can get out of this city relatively unscathed.
Don't we need to meet up with the others?
Yeah, we do, but it's
So it is dark now,
Mhm.
and when we go back to the others, we'll be going back in time. So they probably are wondering where you are, and they've probably waited around for a while, and then then probably headed back to the Dragon's Claws, which is probably what you'd agreed.
Yeah.
But shall we flip? Go on.
Actually, I can't. Yeah, you know what? She's gonna take Marcus off her shoulder and transform into a mushroom self and go into Varak's pocket with Marcus and just pop him.
So
And
they're
she's
both,
going to
you're
have-
both shrank at the moment, are you? Cool.
Yeah, she's.
Oh, you could both stand on you could both stand on either of his shoulders and be like good angel, bad angel.
You need what? You need Lucy to do that. Lucy and Amanita, like fairy with wings and a thing, would be like proper angel and devil.
Oh, she is absolutely shattered after cleaning that place up. She's going to have a little
Snooze in the pocket. So, shall we flip back to the others?
I'm not sure if Charlie wants something done, but Korsk's view would be to wait for the rest of the party to get together before trying to head off to the Kobold camp.
Yeah, Lucy has some things to discuss with one of the group.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So
we roleplayed a bit in the Roll20 chat, so we're good.
Cool. And the summary of that roleplay is?
Lucy got his favour back from Korsk, and he's to try not to kill anyone.
And with interest, if Lucy helps him find out what happened to his family.
Yeah, Korsk's going to owe Lucy a favour.
I think we established as well, Korsk considers Heck as basically someone who's a bit of a murderous psychopath who basically got where she is by sucking up to Sonic.
You also gave Lucy permission to hit her.
Yeah.
That's probably right, I would say. I would say that she's quite sadistic, though.
Yeah.
You know, she's one of these that would torture people as they were robbing them during raids, just to see if there was extra gold coming along that route. If they knew anything else, and take great pleasure in exploring the human anatomy, for example.
Yeah,
with
it's like she's tolerated in the raider group basically because she gets results at the level she works at.
So, you guys have just left. What are you doing?
Are we all back together, or?
Well, you've just left so we've wound back time, so you have just left the, I'm assuming you've had a bit of a conversation as you've been walking through the Wall Shade.
Mm-hmm.
Korsk, what form are you in?
The same one that he was using for Disguise Self, except it's actually a physical form this time. So if someone, basically if someone touches him, it's actual flesh.
Right. So, and how long have you got that?
Oh.
Fine. So, and Lucy, you're still using Disguise Self, I assume?
Yep.
Recast it, I guess.
Unlimited use.
So I'm assuming you're heading back to Portside?
Okay.
As you do in the light of day, you can see as you go through the top end of the Wall Shade, you can see people, Dragonborn soldiers, beginning to search houses.
Not good. We're going to need to expedite it.
Do you think they're looking for us?
Well, some of us, at any rate. I don't think you appeared on the warrant board just yet. Which is ironic, considering how much of the chaos occurred according to you.
It was not my fault. I did not start those fires.
That is true, actually. We need to figure out how that happened.
Oh, well, it's weird.
Marcus said there was a candle that fell over. And I think
Yes.
Amanita had a dog, didn't she, that went a little bit awry.
Speaking of Amanita,
Yes.
we need to have a word with her and her change.
Yeah, I'm beginning to get concerned over this. Before, it just seemed to be happening every night or so, I think it was. But she's morphed into it for a whole day, a whole night and a day now.
Her voice changes.
Maybe you're right about the puberty thing.
Because I know she goes posh. I don't know what's going on. It's weird.
Maybe she's got a book. Maybe that book she carries around it's used for elocution.
Or it's a spell book of some kind that affects her transformation.
So should we
But
read the book?
As I said before, she seems to have more faces than a gelatinous cube.
I think it's a bit too soon for that, Cleo. Sorry, of course.
I am biting my tongue not to jump in on the academic issue of how many faces a gelatinous cube has. Because even in the book I've got here on Monster Anatomy,
It's 6, isn't it?
Well, 7 if you include when Course was inside it.
thank you for reminding me of that.
It's
No,
temporary, though, isn't it? Because eventually you would have been digested into nothingness.
Temporary was the word I was going to use, because the gelatinous cube, as well, is amorphous. It doesn't have to take the form of a cube and is constantly shifting its internal structure, even biochemically. And we can... And he's, like, going on at length about the internal physiology of a gelatinous cube.
Why did I mention this?
As they walk down the street looking like paupers, of course, because talking about a highly academic subject.
I think maybe... I remember a while back, Amanita thought she lost the book and she was really panicked. And that's when we got God to start speaking to her, but that's another story.
Just breezing past the god talking to Amanita.
Yeah, it's fine.
Do you think getting hold of the book would allow us to help her at all?
I think maybe we should try and read it and just see what's there, just in case it would help us understand better, maybe, what's going on.
So, before we commit to anything drastic, why don't we just ask Amanita? She said she was going to talk to us at some point. She's been putting it off, I agree, but it would be better to do this with her trust.
Well, I think you're going to get a frosty reception. For once, I actually agree with Lucy. I think we try and get the book.
You feeling okay, Cleo? You rarely agree with me.
Well,
Are you, Cleo?
it's unclear. I just think that she is a little bit coy on this, and it's probably better out in the open. And
So we do this as an intervention, then, so friends?
potentially, yes.
Not my favourite way of solving it, but I'll trust your judgment on this, Cleo.
Part of me wonders if there must be a reason why she doesn't trust us with this.
Well, guess there's only one way to find out. So who's gonna, distract her while we look for this book?
I feel like the
Maybe it's in
distraction.
her hat.
I feel like the distraction department is your area, Lucy. You're way better at it than I ever was.
Okay.
In the meantime, I think I can have a good shot at trying to get hold of the book.
What if it's inside her hat?
Problematic. Does she wear it at all times?
I don't know. Seems to.
That's an issue then.
Except for when she goes in to try and find it out. Maybe we could come up with some sort of plan where we need to go into the hat.
Wait, I got put in the hat when I had to hide.
Did you see the book?
I don't know, did I see the book? I was looking around at stuff in there, but I don't know what I saw.
You've seen a lot of books. Not sure you necessarily seen that book, but you've certainly seen a lot of books. Saw a lot of books.
What
Perhaps
if we...
there's an internal organization structure to it. She has to have a way of finding each one. Okay. We need to travel in the evening to the Kobold camp anyway. So, and talk to Heck, unfortunately. In the time we're going there, perhaps we could contrive a means for myself to be shrunk and put in the hat.
I can't shrink you. Amanita's the only one that can do that, so we have to convince her that you need to be hidden. Oh, maybe we could say that your family are trying to kill you.
I'd have to get out and talk to them afterward. She'd immediately know that we pulled the wool over her eyes.
We need to get over the wall to get out of the gate, don't we? Surely we just use the same tactic we used last time, which was some of us get shrank and go into the hat.
Yes, that makes sense.
Lucy, you can make out that you want Marcus in the pants again.
And he will obviously argue against that, so...
Yes.
And a polymorph wouldn't be the most efficient way of getting over the wall.
Not unless we were turned into something that could fly.
Yes, but the Dragonborn will take issue with something that's not the usual local wildlife flying about.
I seem to
I'm
recall
not into a dragon.
I seem to recall seeing vultures as we walked here.
Well, don't mention that to Amanita then. We need to emphasize the fact that shrinking is the least obtrusive way of getting across the wall.
Okay.
In the meantime, we need a ship to get out, right? Perhaps we could find a good vantage point and see if there are any appropriate vessels for our purposes.
Possibly.
Oh, okay. Well, should we head back to the place that we said we'd meet them at? Whatever it was called.
Yep. I mean, sorry, to be clear on that last sentence. Basically, because it took us about 25 minutes to get to the Mercenaries Guild, I think. I was figuring we could spend the remainder of the time just taking a look at... basically just spending the time narrowing down what vessel would be best for us to stow away on. And then we walk back to the Dragon's Claws before the transformation wears off.
Okay.
Very well.
What do
So,
you think? Big ship, fast ship, sporty ship.
I was thinking more like a low-level cutter. Just something that would have as few guards as possible and would give us plenty of hiding holes.
where are we taking this ship?
Axmouth. Or as close to Axmouth as we can manage.
Well, surely the business into Axmouth is predominantly military ships.
So in that case, we... what's the name of the port on the far side of the mountains from Axmouth?
Talon's Port.
Talon's Port. Is that one economic?
No, it is military.
Last. So the closest economic port would be that small one to the north of the major city on the west side.
Sunsbreak Port.
Sainsbury Port. So the basic plan, if we can't get into a military vessel, would be to head to that one, and then we would have to cross the desert, presumably.
Indeed.
The military one seems far-fetched. It would depend more on Varak's side and how well that worked out.
Perhaps. Unless we can find a way to maneuver ourselves onto such a vessel. I'm not quite sure how that would be possible, but I know Varak was going to talk to Feshan, so maybe that will provide some sort of opportunity.
Let's hope so. Because the backup plan is going to have to be leveraging the warlike side of my old tribe in order to help us out. And I don't know how keen they're going to be on that, even if we pay them.
We can be very convincing.
Indeed. And that's what I'm hoping is going to come through for us. Heck isn't the kind of kobold who respects any kind of, even moneyed individuals. She respects strength more than anything else. And I get the impression her followers will be similar. That, combined with our buying power, might be able to get them to help us. Possibly even get them to stay away from Varak's people in the meantime.
So say, like, one of us defeated Heck in, like, a one-on-one fight. A fair fight. Would we then, like, run the tribe?
No. That isn't how that works. You might be able to persuade her to fight in a one-on-one fight. However, I strongly doubt that any use of magic would be considered.
Oh no, I was thinking like Marcus with his whip.
Maybe
So
not the one.
I would say that whilst she's quite big and quite strong within the tribe, she knows her limits and is more of a wily fighter.
Okay.
So the prospect of fighting Marcus, for example, she would look to avoid.
Okay.
The prospect of fighting you as a group, as long as she had her tribe behind her, she would fancy the odds. But it's more about having the odds stacked in her favour.
Would the magic thing be an issue as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because we don't want it to degenerate into an all-out war. We just need to. It basically have enough violence to happen to be a show of force, without basically cutting our diplomatic options as well.
Yeah. So, you make your way through the flea market, back to port side. Still daylight. Are you wanting to head to Sandsbreak Port to check out some ships, or are you?
Yeah. If we're going to fast time, then basically after we get back to the Dragon's Claws course, we'd also put in a short rest to get back some of the health from Lucy.
Okay. The Dragon's Claws has just got the normal lawyers in. As far as you're aware, nobody has come looking. The landlady doesn't seem to think there's been anybody out of the ordinary there. You could still see that there is more of a military presence than normal. I'm assuming you're then going to recast your spell.
If all I need to do is get into my room, then I'll drink my second potion of transformation, just to cover the distance.
Okay.
And then
So
I'll just lock the door.
So you go to Sandsbreak Port. There are a number of vessels, mainly built for cargo. You head down the cliff and you go and check them out. Most of them are heading either to the human realms or to what's it called? I'm not going to flip the map for you this time. Desert's Mouth.
Could we, sorry, Wayne, could we have the overworld map?
So you do want the other one. So it's not too. It's the town you passed on the way.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure what where that. There we go. Thanks. That one. Yeah. So the sun going to Desert's Mouth. There's no directs then for Bladesport.
No, you'd have to get a ship from Bladesport to. From Desert's Mouth to Bladesport.
Okay. Yeah, that'll be a start then. So we'll smuggle out of the city and then get passage from Desert's Mouth. Hopefully word won't have reached them.
You get the impression that some of these sailors think that the tight rules around where they can sail is a bit overkill. But
is there a suggestion that there's smuggling going on from that?
No, it's just more the ships that are heading to Bladesport always have to go through Desert's Mouth and then have numerous inspections to make sure that everything's above board.
Okay.
It's done on purpose so they can get them out of the country easier if they do find somebody up to no good.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll need to plan around that, but much later.
You do get the impression that something is stopping them from just going between the two ports as well, by breaking the rules.
Like, the thing that's stopping them would be it's more than a written rule, basically.
It's enforced somehow.
Yeah.
So if they started heading from Dragon's Claw to Bladesport, they would be intervened at some point.
Yeah. I wonder if they have like a in back in the day when they used to want to stop ships going into ports, they'd raise a kind of like a chain or a list of or set of chains from the water and cut off the air.
You just told that they can't do it when you kind of make inquiries about the local the local shipping industry. You just know it's highly bureaucratic. So, let me just pull the video channel back. There we go. So I will go back to the map of Dragon's Claw. There we go. So you finish up in the port, I assume, and head back to the Dragon's Claws. You get something to eat. It is early evening. Time passes by and you start to wonder where the others have got to. Until eventually the bar starts to thin. The lawyers go home. And eventually you hear the front door open. And in walks Varak, Amanita, and a rat that pops out of the pocket. Oh no, Marcus is. Have we recast? I can't remember.
She would have recast, but she, as she jumps out of Barak's pocket, it's like he would resize.
All right, so he was shrank, wasn't he? So he just appears.
Who's this dwarf you've just brought with you?
It's me.
Varak! And he
Yeah.
jumps up and like, so now we're on the same level. And he's looking, and he just stands right up to you and looks directly in your eyes.
There's blue air into his eyes.
Lucy just starts like playing with his hair.
Come on, Lucy. I don't go around touching your hair. Come on.
What scales turn into?
No. I've had a lot of work done, as you can see. I'm not me. I'm this guy.
And what does this guy actually look like? I know Jess has posted a picture, but what's the colourings and things like that? What's your hair colouring in?
Super long, like long hair, really long beard, pleated as well in the beard, as you do, of course. Who doesn't get one of that? Obviously, grey at the roots, just at the roots, but it goes into like a light browny ginger kind of color. Same with the hair as well. It wears like pretty much the same clothes as what Varak did, like the old military coat and stuff like that, but like the kind of greeny brown eyes, or eye, because he's still got the scar across.
Of course, Cleo's like to Lucy, I think it's a bit of a dye job. You can see the roots.
Wait, are you stuck like this?
Yeah.
So it's not just like a transformation potion he wanted to give you then?
No, it was a very in-depth procedure, and I had parts of me removed.
What happened to those parts?
You agreed to this?
I didn't have what choice do I have, of course? And yes, I did keep the parts. And it was my scales and a part of my meat, but you're not getting the scales. You're not getting the scales. I already gave you that armor. We're even.
I know.
So, yes, I will look like this for the foreseeable future until I give that man his 10,000 gold pieces. And I need to get my knife back off him and one of my skills.
1,000?
Yeah, because that's how much the court pays him for the procedure.
Are you sure they didn't lie about how much the court pays them? Because that sounds like a lot.
And you agreed to this as well?
Oh, I didn't have a choice. I tried refusing, but I also really needed the work done. Plus, the 10,000 is a reasonable price. The guy cut a leg off for it, so... tit for tat. You know what I mean?
I mean, assuming there's enough of him left to deal with when we come back to pay them, not paying the money.
He doesn't like performing the procedure, he says. He's done it once before, and he messed it up the first time, and fixed it this time, so this is a perfect body.
It's like, that gives me a whole load of confidence in this man's magical talents, then.
It was dark magic. Wild stuff.
So does this... You can't hit me when I call you a hairy boy?
I am a hairy boy now, yes. So I won't hit you now, but scales aren't hair. Not hair.
And there's the episode title.
Scales aren't hair.
Oh no, I'm a hairy boy now.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Speaking of, where's Amanita?
Over there.
So, before you get onto that, Marcus will pop up when he's said he'd done it previously. Marcus will pipe up saying, turned a young dragonborn into a human with rainbow hair. Said it didn't quite go right. Does that sound familiar?
What was the colour of that guy? You know, the weird... Was it violet one?
No.
Charmed all of you with his voice.
A young dragonborn girl with rainbow hair.
Oh.
You see?
We had somebody in our party, might be dead now. She didn't talk much. She did look a bit strange. I think she had rainbowy hair. Yeah. I tried to, the group was very annoyed with me because then once she died, I thought, but Dragonborn armor might be a cool thing. They wouldn't let me use the skin, and somebody took her body away.
Who took her body away?
It was an elf.
Did he look culty?
They all do, really. I know that's a bit racist, but yeah.
I just turned and looked at Cleo.
I'm sorry if you don't think Cleo looks culty.
Oh, I do. I do.
Yeah, exactly. No offense, Cleo.
Well, worshipping nature is not a cult.
Hare Krishna. And, but yeah, ooh. Yeah, there was something, she didn't quite look right.
So she's definitely dead, right?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Why was this person going in for treatment anyway?
So, when we came here, we had to drop Harmony off.
Yeah.
And Harmony had a sister that was lost, two of them and stuff.
Interesting theory.
I'm pretty sure that's this good old Varak's assumptions and possible theories now that you know this person and it's something else.
Just out of game. Wayne.
Yeah.
Is Meldry related to Varak?
Not that I know of.
Okay, alright then. But yeah, she dead. Definitely dead.
That's an interesting theory, though, Varak, you say about...
Well, I can only assume, that I remember the priestess telling us at Dragon's Foot that that Harmony had a sister. They were twins or something like that. The culty guys asking the other dude, the guy who made me look like this, the cult was asking him about a talisman, and then Harmony was called the talisman, but they were looking for his sister, and then I just assumed that would be Harmony's sister.
Well, Meldry was the name of the girl with the rainbow hair, if it's her. She was getting chased by this creature called a Kashala.
I have no idea what that is.
It's like a shadowy bounty hunter for, evil deities and creatures. But yeah, it was something like any time she spoke common or spoke, the creature would come and find her. It was very weird. Because usually, those kind of creatures need to be sent by somebody. They don't just, attack for no reason.
You seem to know quite a bit about this, Lucy.
And you still look like a cult member, Cleo. But I'm not changing the subject. So, yeah.
Do we think that this Kashala, do we think that is a result of the operation?
No.
Hope not.
Will Varak lose his voice?
No.
Should I stop talking?
You're fine. Well,
It would surely have turned up now.
I mean, yeah, I've been talking like the whole way home, so...
no, Kashala's like... They, from what I remember, they sort of collect debts owed just like dark gods. Like, unless you had promised your soul to somebody, I don't think one will appear.
Do we think that maybe then the operation was some sort of disguise to throw the cultists who possibly were linked to the Kashala?
Maybe.
Hang on a minute. We learned about this person through Miran, didn't we?
What person?
Person conducting the operation, the transformation.
Yeah, it was my mother who snuck the girl out, if I remember what the guy said correctly.
So she snuck this girl out by transforming her into a human.
Yeah.
Then she remarries and then starts working with a completely different cult on the matter.
I don't think those two particular cults are related. I think one's more about Dragonborn supremacy and the other is something
But
dark
it means
magic-y.
but it means she might have an idea of what this other cult is, and that they oppose the aims of her group.
Yeah, I guess, but
Your mum doesn't keep good company.
no.
Like, you said the other one was some sort of dark magic, but like the first cult you talked about, Dragonborn supremacy, that's also not a good thing.
No, it's not. I mean, that's the half moon guys, the ones.
The Brotherhood of the
Yeah, those guys, the Brotherhood of the Half Moon.
Yeah. I should probably stop turning into your mum.
Yeah, it might be a good idea now. But hey, at least I don't look like me anymore, and I'm not gonna get any more dodgy looks, though I need to think of a name. So,
What about Vorok?
Varak's good. I do like that. That's similar enough where I'm not gonna get confused.
And it ties in with your dwarvenness. You got rock in your name.
I think maybe
Hey, Rob.
Vorak would be better.
Alright.
Vorak.
Vorak Blumpkin.
No. You need a word.
Stormhammer.
Balrog.
Yes, something hammer or something axe or belt or fist or something. Vorak Scale Razor.
See, now that just makes me seem like an enemy of my people, and I don't feel comfortable with that as such, but then that would explain the scales I keep on. Yeah, no,
You turn into a dwarf Varak. You're already over the line.
Yeah, you're now a Dragonborn serial killer. Kill them and then
Oh.
shave them.
Right. For all sakes and purposes, yes, I was descaled, not shaved.
What
Alright?
about Scale Hammer?
Tomato potato.
Scale hammer's alright.
Vorak
Amanita.
Scale.
Vorak scale hammer for Vorak. I kind of like Vorak, I guess, as well. Vorak. Amity, you got any name suggestions for what I am now?
What about Axsmith?
Axma.
Axsmith.
Axsmith. That's a good one as well, actually.
What about Steve?
Kyle!
Brian.
Bryce.
I think I'll stick with the dwarven names instead of the good old human ones.
It's like the bartender just looks over and wonders why we're calling out human names over the table.
Let's go with Varak X scale. Scale X.
Varak Scalax. Very well. Very well.
Okay. So, where is Amanita?
She'll just be sitting at the table.
I think we should all sort of eat just around her.
She's like slightly like drifting off the all that scrubbing has tired her out.
So it's
Lucy will sit down.
What do you want? I'm tired.
So, about this puberty. What's going on?
As I said, Lucy, I'm tired.
Yeah. But strange things are going on with you, and we need to know what they are.
Marcus will probably say, Amanita, I think the easiest way for them to let you go to bed is to just quickly tell them what's going on.
Oh, look, it's just I have these powers, and whenever I use ice, my
But
form
why-
changes.
Why does your voice change?
I don't know.
Puberty?
Yeah, whatever.
See, I told you it was puberty.
I think she's just letting you have that one, Lucy.
Right, okay. Well,
It's
see,
not.
when we first met you, you hated the cold. But now you make cold.
And I've
It's a
always
little
made
confusing.
cold.
And what was... You gave me a note before.
Indeed,
That
I
was
did.
beware the frost. What do you mean, beware you? What do you mean?
Look, I can't control these powers very well. They're new. They're not new, but
I thought you always had them.
these spells are getting stronger. Before, they just used to be little ice powers, but ever since I've been adventuring with you, they've been getting stronger.
So is there anything we should be worried about?
I think that's because she's been associating with the cool kids.
I hate to
Who's
butt
that?
in. I hate to butt in on the switching between puberty and cold jokes, but Amanita, you did tell me at one point that, and I may be misremembering this, it was when we were flying over the wall, and I was with you on your shoulder. You didn't say you hated the cold then. Is it beginning to change your view of it as well?
No, it's just in this form, I don't really mind the cold. But in my original form, it's not nice. The memories, they just flood back. It is awful. Just think of your sweet, kind other animators in hibernation whenever this form takes place.
Does Lucy feel like she's being fully honest?
do a perception check.
And
I would say you probably can't tell.
what's that book you always have?
Hmm.
You know
It's
the
just
one
a
you
book.
lost before?
It's just a book of spells. Keep it on me at all times, just in case. I like to
Okay.
keep notes. Don't you like keeping notes?
I don't even know if I can write.
I know you do, of course. You and your experiments.
You don't need to say it like it's a dirty word. Of course I keep notes. I would say it's a little different to... I didn't expect a person with druidic powers to do so, though. Those are more born from your inner power, rather than requiring the inner workings of a spell.
I wouldn't say it's spells as in spells I can do. It's more of other creatures can.
Okay.
You mean like a grimoire?
Yes.
I've got one of those.
It's like that. Nothing interesting.
I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
No.
I can't use mine.
Amanita, you've now had 3 forms with us.
Yes.
We met you, you were a little mushroom. Then you became a fairy. And now you're a frosty fairy.
Ice.
Is there more
No.
forms to come?
My village, because we were fairies, we have to take the form of something to help us. I mean, we're tiny. We get squashed easily. Wings off. People thinking fairies are just a toy thing to create magic and stuff. So we would disguise ourselves as nature. My village, mushroom. There are quite a few clans of mushroom fairies, as you met Pepe.
Indeed.
Now,
He was a bright person.
that's it. The form of the mushroom always takes place when we're most feared of a danger. Or
So you're just
basically
saying you're not-
rest. Go on.
So you're saying you're not scared anymore?
Well, I trust you guys. I'm not.
I wouldn't. Seen how many things I've burnt down.
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't
Yeah.
trust Lucy either, but I'm sure the
But-
rest of the group's pretty upstanding.
Hey, I can say
know.
that. You don't have to say that.
I know you can protect me, though. So
Dwarven,
there's no
short,
reason to
hairy boy.
hide.
Amanita, you mentioned memories earlier. What were you referring to?
She kind of like doesn't like the fact that you meant.
You promised you'd tell us what's going on.
Let's say I've had a bit of a bad. I don't like talking about.
Hey, we've all got stuff we don't like talking about, but just think it'd be okay if you told us.
So if you want help on anything related to this, it's okay to ask. We're not going to try and take advantage of it or try to hurt you using it.
You don't have about that. I know you can't help me.
Well,
Look. Looks like it's got to come out at one point. Oh, you're not going to leave me alone if I don't.
hey, look, I think we've earned some goodwill. I've not even tried to charm you yet. If that's not trustworthy, I mean, what isn't?
Well, to be honest, I'm not ready to tell you, so...
Alright. We'll shelve that discussion for another time.
But just... all you need to know is... my powers are getting stronger, and... it shouldn't harm any of you. It's just a little setback. I'm still working myself. I mean,
Okay.
the lower the spell I use, the more less effective the spell is, the less I look like this. Simple spell. It only takes a little short rest, and I'm back to normal. You remember when I used my ice to unpick that chest in the tower? Yeah, that was merely a small spell. I turned back after a little rest. I then used a slightly higher spell back at the place with the tree where we burst. That took a day. To receive back. But now I've used a very high spell. One that, well, killed 6 people. Believe it.
Good enough.
And now I'm stuck like this, and I don't know how long, so we'll have to see.
Okay.
If it's related to your ice magic, then I suppose all I can say is you don't need to use them on our account. Not if you don't want. Not if you don't want to be in this form.
It's not so much. I don't mind using this, but I mean, it is scary. I need to get used to it.
Okay.
Can't have my friends getting hurt, can I?
Should I make a fire?
I don't think this time.
I just don't know. If you were cold or something, I could make a fire.
You are. Anyway, is that all you wanted?
Also, could you take a look at Varak? Do you see a short, hairy boy?
If I say yes, will that make you happy?
Oh, ecstatically.
Then
He
yes.
is taller than you, I will add.
Then yes. If that's what makes you happy, yes, he is a short, hairy boy.
Oh, no. No, I'm not that short. I'm just smaller.
I can look you in the eye now.
Well,
I can see the top of your head. Somebody's brought in the theatre dog, so everyone's playing with him.
Cool. So, that's the end of the conversation.
For now, yes.
I think we should call it there for the week.
We travel and roll, our intentions are good. Maybe we find